Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey everyone, Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here with you. It is about 9:35 on a Monday night, and we've got some actions to talk about. We're going to pick up where we left off last night and bring you the latest on the potential for some snow here across Oklahoma and even surrounding states. We'll take a look at Kansas and all of you guys up north and even out toward the Panhandle, and we'll kind of cover all of you out there. All right, let me restart my live on my phone so I can see what's going on. Quit bothering me, Facebook. Use this shortcut. I don't want to know about it. How do I close it? Get away from me. It's always when you're in the middle of something. Like, don't bother me now. I don't have time for this. So, okay. Now we're going to just scroll through, and I'll eventually find my own feed. That's the way it goes here. Okay, there we go. All right, now I can see your comments. So we're ready to rock and roll. I'm busy, Facebook. I'm a busy man. All right, listen. Already we've got Philip in the house with 50 stars. He's already dropping the stars tonight, so thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Last night you guys got carried away with the Stars game, and I am not going to complain. I love the Stars game, so thanks for sending me a bunch of them. If you'd like to send me some tonight, go right ahead. What we're going to do is get you acclimated on the big 4-letter word. By the way, you guys, I see you on YouTube. So Bing, Amanda, I see you there. And Kayla, checking in from Choctaw. Good to see you, ladies. Charlotte's in the house, also 50 stars. Charlotte knows what's up. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to load up my other broadcast here so that I can get your comments on my private Patreon page and then also the main Facebook page as well. Then I'll answer a few of your questions here toward the end. So just give everybody another second to work in, because sometimes Facebook has to tell everybody late that I'm on live, which is kind of defeats the whole purpose, you know what I'm saying? That kind of is silly, in my opinion. But I don't make the algorithms for Facebook. All right, so Denise is in the house. Howdy, Larry. Yo, what's up? And Karen's here. Good to see you as always to my patrons. And Karina is in the house. Karina Jackson, 50 stars. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get on with the show, shall we? All right. So, I got to teach a little weather, because I want you to understand what's going on behind the scenes, right? That's the way I've always been with this kind of stuff. And I think it's beneficial. It's helpful. I think it, teaches a little bit. Shane's in the house. 1,200 stars. Holy moly, brother. You went above and beyond. I haven't seen you and talked to you in forever. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for that, by the way. Okay, so here's a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere. We're going to take a zoomed-in look at the Central Plains states. Rita, yes. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this through motion in the time. Remember, it was all that mattered was the area of the lower heights. In other words, where the area of low pressure would be developing across Oklahoma as to where we're going to be focusing that snow. So this is 48 hours out from this. Okay, I'm just not going to touch anything and make sure this thing still works. So, hold on. Make sure I'm still going up on YouTube. Okay, yeah. So now my client here didn't like the stream connection. Anyway, so we're going to keep going. So what's happened is we go through another 6 to 12-hour period, and you're going to watch the low start to take shape right here over west central Oklahoma. Now I'm starting to get excited because where you're going to get the best snow is going to occur where that location is. So let's take a look here at the next hour, or next group of hours that'll come in. This is 60 hours, and now that low is now centered here underneath that circle. So you can see how it's kind of went from like something like in this area to now here to here. So every time we kind of add another panel, it starts to get that closed off circle and makes its way from western Oklahoma through central Oklahoma and into northeast Oklahoma. So what you need to focus on when you kind of have this track like this of the upper low is that the main lift rotates in and around this area of low pressure. So in theory, you get some of the best lift underneath that core of the developing vertical structure of the upper level low. So that's why we like to track the lows, because that's important where you're going to get the snow. But you'll also get snow in the influence. Carrie, by the way, is in the house with 50 stars. Thank you, Carrie. You'll also get some snow in this out kind of in this quadrant as well. And so you're going to see this kind of stack up. So wherever the low is, even if it's back here, you'll see, some snow kind of in this quadrant too. So in other words, Kansas is actually in a better shot of seeing overall snow from this system than most of Oklahoma. So we're going to be kind of we're going to try to divide the line here for you, but that's how that's going to take shape. So what happens is, again, we're going to go motion one more time, kind of moves into northeast Oklahoma, then Missouri, then it's out of here through Thursday. So it's not going to be with us for a very long period of time. So we're not going to get a whole lot out of this system for many of us, but some lucky people might get several inches. I don't want to get too excited yet because it's snowfall forecasts. And you know how that goes. Oh, boy. All right, now here's the other deal. I like to see the world. What was that commercial? Was that a Coke commercial? Anyway, so this is what happens when you look at that European model data, when you do the snow output. So as I said, it kind of dumps a bunch of it here into Kansas, but it does dump quite a bit here in northwest Oklahoma, western Oklahoma, then into central Oklahoma. Now, it doesn't do a whole lot here in northeast Oklahoma with that track of the upper low. The reason being is it runs out of cold air. In other words, there's better cold air here in central and western Oklahoma for this. So you guys in Tulsa, you're going, hey, wait a minute, we were running that low, we're going to get some snow. Yeah, you might get some wet flakes mixed in at this point in time, but right now the model's favoring more of a cold rain for you, with temperatures probably more in those upper 30s to low 40s. All right, and that's kind of what happened this past weekend. We dipped down upper 30s to lower 40s. That upper level low moved right across central Oklahoma. If we were about 5 degrees colder, we would have gotten some snow out of that deal. That's how close that one was. 299 stars. Thank you. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I get those names right and sometimes I don't. So don't hate me if I mess it up, because you guys like to throw me for some new names I have never seen in my entire life, and I get to read them live. That's always a little fun. Okay, so anyway, so that's the European model. Now, the other model I like to use is the Canadian model. Now, especially when these two jive, in other words, when they kind of go neck and neck for the winter months, I really like to see the output of that. In other words, my confidence goes up. So as we go into time at Wednesday morning, you know what it's doing? Same thing the European's doing. Kind of has that little elongated area of low pressure. As we kind of head into Wednesday lunchtime, look what it does. It closes it off. It's got it centered right here in western Oklahoma. But you see all these colors on the map that indicates lift in the atmosphere. In other words, we're going to squeeze out that moisture in the form of precipitation. As we head into Wednesday evening, the low is still centered out there over western Oklahoma. It actually doesn't move anywhere. It kind of stays there. And then Wednesday night, it starts to jump as the low reorganizes here over central Oklahoma, so pretty much right over Logan County, for example. And then it does move its way toward Tulsa. Looks like, I'd say close to Tulsa, about right on the Kansas border, Bartlesville. By Thursday morning, it's kind of in this area here. So that'll take the precipitation along with it. So it's a Wednesday morning to Thursday morning effect over Oklahoma for the most part, just so you kind of know the time window here we have to work with. Now, we talked about the lift in the atmosphere. So when you see these brighter colors on the map, that's where you're really going to squeeze out that moisture from the clouds and some rain. So you see those brighter colors across a good area of Oklahoma. That means some good rain here. So starting Tuesday night, as the atmosphere starts to moisten up, we should get some light rain developing into Wednesday morning. And then that's where the colder air is that'll change over into snow. So you can see a lot of lift across the state, a lot of those brighter colors through Wednesday morning, into Wednesday afternoon, into Wednesday evening. And, of course, a lot of it's here over central Oklahoma and even Kansas and stuff. So, in other words, we are getting precipitation out of this deal. We just have to kind of fine-tune, for the snow, because that's what we're all really interested in, right? Okay, so let's take a look at some of the numbers. First off, lows tonight, not as bad as last night, but still pretty chilly out there. Shane, he just promised me, he just gave me 2,000 stars as a down payment to make it snow, and he wants to throw in some hail, so he sent another 400 stars. Now he's just being silly. All right, so anyway, we've got mid-30s tonight and some upper 20s out there across the state tomorrow. A little bit warmer than today. You know, we'll be back into the mid-40s, it looks like, so that's going to be good. Ron wants that low to go south. I hear you, brother. Now, the wind speeds for tomorrow, a little breezy across the southern parts of the state. So all this blue represents 10 to 20 miles per hour. You might get a gust of 25. It was a little breezy today at times, but you can see up here in northwestern Oklahoma, there's no colors on the map, which means it's pretty much dead quiet. Just light and variable winds, and the reason for that is because if you look right here, very chaotic. I'm just going to draw a quick and dirty cold front. So there's your quick and dirty cold front right here across northwest Oklahoma. And this is for Tuesday mornings or Tuesday afternoons. This is when it kind of starts to move on in. And then that will be the player for how things evolve for Wednesday. Now look at Wednesday. That same front I drew you up here is now moving, according to the high-res models, right about here. And then we'll get a surface area of low pressure developing right about here. So that's good. I like to see the fact that the models kind of went a little farther east. Some of the models had kind of stopped it right here across I-35, but some had kind of moved just east of I-35. The reason why, because once you get probably in this zone back in here, is the most favorable zone for snow to fall with a frontal position right here. So I want the front a little more east, and that'll set up the zone that I'm looking for lift in the sweet spot here across the change of colors here into central and western Oklahoma for some snow. All right, now that is how it kind of looks at the surface. Now if you look upstairs, now there's many models that'll take a look at this, but what we're looking at here is when you see the red line, the green line, this goes all the way up in the atmosphere. So think, three-dimensionally. But you're going to have, when they touch, saturation, so cloud cover. So here's all cloud cover around 500 millibars, 6,000 meters, and 14, 15, 20,000 feet. And what happens is it starts to snow with all this lift right here. It's called a mega. So this is what will saturate this. And then as anything falls down here, it'll fall into temperatures that are below freezing at the surface. So the dew point's 27, the air temperature is 35. So you bring those two together, you get a wet bulb temperature that's probably around 30, 32 degrees. All right, so what happens is that sounding likes to produce snow in the snow growth zone. So we'll likely see some snow Wednesday morning here in central Oklahoma. Now at the very beginning, it may not be much to write home about. It may just be some flurries or some flakes, and that's about it. Now, the safe call that models have been going for the last 12 hours is a blended outcome of some light snowfall totals here in northwest Oklahoma and up here in the Kansas, a little bit heavier in the blue shading. So if I were to, let's get rid of that. Okay, so the light blue is about 1 inch. The darker blue up here in Kansas is about 3 to 4. So that's the safe play of a model blend of a lot of different model solutions going for snow at this point in time. All right, now, I don't like that one. I think it's not aggressive enough. All right, so now this is the European. That's going to be a lot more aggressive. And it's got that pink area of 6 inches of snow here around Woodward, for example. Elk City, 2.5. It's got Oklahoma City at 1/2 inch, but it's got Canadian County with El Reno, Yukon. You guys probably got about 1 inch of snow. So there will be a quick line where you get nothing east, and it starts to ramp up as you get north and west. And that's typically what happens around here anyway when we get snow splitting the metro in half as far as measurable stuff when these fronts kind of come in at this angle. Now, if we look at the Canadian model output, now remember it kind of was similar to the European, slightly different, and this data came in just now, as in just an hour ago. The European came in this morning, so we don't have the new European yet. That's going to be a while. But this data that's come in has suggested it does come a little more south, and it does drop a little bit more. So it's got that pink area here of 5, maybe 6 inches of snow southwest of Oklahoma City, right around, between us and Lawton, with some pockets of heavier snow up around Woodward, and again, the Canadian County in that blue area, that's 3 to 4 inches of snow, easy. an inch here in Oklahoma City. Again, Tulsa, you're not seeing a whole lot with this. Don't get too excited up there. I know the track is favorable for you, but I just don't think you're going to have enough cold air. I think all the cold air is going to be kind of confined along I-35, out here western Oklahoma, and then up here north into Kansas. So, again, the take-home is with this snow event, of course, Colorado, that's easy. Of course, the Panhandle, that's easy. Both Panhandles, as a matter of fact, that's pretty easy for dusting of snow. Up here in Kansas, this is an easy call too for snow. Dusting here in southeast, we'll cut it off something like this. So this is all fair game for good snow. With the bulk of the heavy stuff really can be anywhere from the west central part to east central part. Anywhere in here you're going to have these, you can have easily pockets of heavy snows. Depends on the final position of the upper low, where the vorticity maximums rotate through it and just produce heavier snow. That usually happens on the eastern axis of that upper low, so we would think it'd be more over central Kansas rather than west. So, but that's how things are going. This is what, of course, the model will allude to as well. And then here in Oklahoma City, it's a close call. I'm starting to get excited. But some west snow here on the west side for sure, and up toward Woodward. So that's the latest with all of that. If you do look at some of the models, and excuse me, my nose is itching, because has to itch when I'm talking. Justin, by the way, I see there were 50 stars. Thank you, sir. Okay, so some of the models are starting to come in a little bit better. Snow amounts. Now this is, these are all ensemble runs from different stuff. Some of them aren't good at snowfall forecasting. Obviously, because one has 15 inches of snow here in Oklahoma City. That's this top one up here. It says 15 inches of snow. That's not going to happen. But the point is, there's a lot more of these starting to show up, which is good if you're looking for a trend. All right, temperature-wise, we're going to be cold Wednesday and Thursday, of course, even Friday. We will rebound into the 50s next week and over the weekend. Overnight lows, though, will be staying cold, so if you have any plants and you're trying not to bring them in yet, you're going to have to do it. There's no point in putting them back out. They're never going to make it if they are temperature sensitive, which I'm assuming they probably are. All right, that's Oklahoma City, for example. Tulsa, very similar, but a little warmer. So that's why you're less potential for any decent snow at all than a few flurries or wet flakes mixed in for Wednesday into Thursday, with temperatures in the 40s during the day. Overnight low will finally get below freezing Friday morning, and you'll be below freezing pretty much every morning thereon until next week. And daytime highs once again kind of getting those upper 50s, or excuse me, upper 50s there toward Wednesday and Thursday. Whitney's in the house, 250 stars. She's a supporter +1. Thank you, Whitney. Okay, so if you're really late, I'm going to have to touch a button. I don't know what's going to happen when I touch this button. Seriously, I don't know. I got an error over here. I don't want to touch it because it says an error. So if the connection drops, it'll drop, and then we'll just say goodbye early, prematurely. But I am wrapping things up. Troy, as far as the exact amounts and placements, yes, tomorrow will be a better day for that. Today, the trend was to narrow it down more and then get the areas for shores where snow would fall, the general area. So we got that done. And then we got more of the look of the system itself, let the model settle down as far as how it's going to evolve with time, and then the window, from basically Wednesday morning through Thursday morning. So all those answers were found out tonight. Some of them we couldn't really answer very well last night. So that's the difference. All right, I'm going to press this button. Whoa, nothing happened. Yes. Trust me, you never want to see the word error on the screen. Anyway, hey, by the way, you see what I'm wearing? Zip hoodie, baby. So a lot of you did want a zip hoodie, so I ordered them and put them in my list of things you can get. There's actually a link on my Facebook page just below this live broadcast. You can click that link directly and pick it up. Let me answer some of your questions, and I'm going to get out of here. Turn you loose. Real quick on YouTube, let's see. Dale City's in the house. Edmund's in the house. Matt, good to see you. Eufaula. Nope, no snow for you, Paul. You're good. Nat, you're wanting some snow for Seminole. Yeah. Sorry. Jim's in the house for Mustang as always. Yeah, you're not going to need a whole lot of milk and bread for this storm system. Anita, how much toilet paper do I need? Don't even go there. All right, I see you. For you guys that were watching on Periscope and YouTube, I didn't have time to look at your comments beforehand, so if you had any, now's your time to write them in real quick, and I'll check them for you. Summer's in the house with 250 stars. Thank you, Summer. You're so sweet. Let's see. Patty, you're late to the party. So was Brenda. Shame on you ladies. You know the deal. Scott and Bethany, good evening. Yes, I would love to build a snowman, but we're not probably going to have enough snow in my house for that, unless it's going to be one of those dirty ones where it's a lot of dry grass and some mud, which the kid in me doesn't mind that. The adult in me is like, ew. Let me go to the main Facebook page. I'm going to load this one up. Hit the mute button. And hit the pause button. And hopefully that'll load. There it goes. Okay, latecomer, Tommy. Boy, you were late to the party. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Let me think how I'm going to do this. I think it's best if we do this. Okay, good. Didn't crash. So this is snow map. So again, Kansas getting most of the snow with this event, anchored mostly in this area in the yellow box. Of course, some stuff out in the Panhandle for us in northwestern Oklahoma and in western or eastern Texas Panhandle. Now, the question here, oh, by the way, the knock it out of the park, not even a question, snow box here in Oklahoma is going to be like this. Okay, that's the easy call. Now, where it gets more dicey is how far east do we get over here into this section, and how far south do we get into this section. This is the latest Canadian model, and it's going farther south and farther east with significant snowfall accumulation. That's good. Now, this is a new developing trend, so we'll see if this trend continues in the data that comes in overnight and tomorrow morning. Hopefully, if so, then we're looking at the snowfall line from basically the I-35 corridor back into the south sides of the metro, down toward Lawton, and out here to southwest Oklahoma. Now, that also means, unfortunately, if you want measurable snow, it does not happen in Tulsa. It does not happen in southeast Oklahoma. There is no chance for measurable snow in this red box. Okay? At the way things look right now, no chance at all. Specifically, really no chance here. Tulsa would be a wild card, but a lot would have to change. You might get a dusting up in this area if things go better, but right now it's the way that looks. Okay? Timing-wise, Wednesday morning to Thursday morning is basically the 24-hour window for the snow to develop. It'll develop out western Oklahoma first and just gradually kind of transition eastward during the day. We'll get some rain with this. That was one map I did not show you, was the rainfall totals. Let me do that, just kind of give you an idea. I knew I was forgetting something. It was rainfall. Duh, Aaron. Not everybody cares about snow. It's not all about the snow. Why does the snow have to be so self-centered? It's not always about him. All right, so there you go. Half-inch of snow here. Stupid. Half-inch of liquid here in central Oklahoma, which can be snow, but also be some rain, cold rain. And then that cold rain piling up here about an inch or so in eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. So it's good heavy rains in the eastern third of the state. Again, Tulsa, and this is mostly all rain for you. I think if anything, you'll see some wet flakes mixed in. That's probably about it. Okay, so that was a good question, and there's your about 2-minute summary. You don't get to see any of the behind the scenes of what's causing all this and why we talked about it and what can change. You don't get any of that. You're just going to get the final, this is however the way it's going to happen, at least the way it looks right now. Okay, there was a couple things I want to show you. You might find interesting. This is on my website, aarontuttle.weather.com. There is a weather data tab on here. If you scroll down, you will see Oklahoma power outages, which is a dirty combination of words we never want to see again here. I get it. Below that, though, is Oklahoma road conditions. If you go to that, it'll show you the surface temperatures at the ground, 2 inches below the surface. So you'll want to look at that. Scroll down from there, and you will see the open data portal for Oklahoma City, which shows the snow routes when they are active and they're being used. And then down from there, you're going to see the statewide and surrounding areas of Oklahoma road conditions map. So in other words, there'll be if there's any closed roads or moderate traffic impingements, whatever, close, delays, etc. Then keep going down and you'll see Oklahoma City metro area, where right now it's all green, which means moving nice and quick. And then if you also on here, you can change, so the map view, it says Oklahoma City, but you can change to Tulsa, Lawton, Purcell, and go statewide to get a view of road conditions. So bookmark this on your cell phone or on your computer at home. It's under the weather data tab. It's on AaronTuttleWeather.com. And down here at the bottom where it says Oklahoma road conditions. And that will let you know if you're going to be having some problems when you head out the door. In other words, you won't have to turn on your TV and look for some reporter to stand on the side of the road and go, yep, it's snowing out here. Yeah, it's slippery. Yeah, it's cold. You can just look at this, take you all of 20, 30 seconds. You don't have to watch anything on TV, and you're done. You got what you needed, and you're out of there. So that's should be beneficial for the wintertime for you. There's a bunch of other stuff on there that you're going to find interesting. So that was that. And then, was there anything else I want to look at? There was one page I was waiting for it to update, but it's not updating. It's late to its own party. Data's not in yet, so it won't do any good to look at it. All right, so thanks for all the stars here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I greatly appreciate it. If you do send me some stars, I always give you a shout out as appreciation for that. And for those of you folks that are fun, like to give me stars with your very unique names, which can sometimes be interesting for me to pronounce. But most of them, I think I get most of them, which is good. Oh, yeah, Eric. So Eric is talking about Futurecast. So he wants to go to Futurecast. All right, so let me go back to my website, because you'll want to know this too. All right, so my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, has a lot of stuff on it, right? Well, my website has even more stuff. I give it all to you for free. All right, so let's go down here. It's back on the weather data tab. Again, AaronTuttleWeather.com. And by the way, I have an AT's weather station on here. Let's click that real quick. The reason why I show you is you can see my roof cam, and you can see how conditions look outside. So if you really want to see an outdoor view, what it looks like outside, away from these other maps on the road conditions, which you can click on little city cameras there too. You can go to that as well, and you can get the real-time temperature. Okay, so let's go back here to, where are we going? Current conditions and forecast. No. Interactive weather radar map. So you want to go to interactive weather radar map. Now on this, it's going to look very similar to my weather app. So you're going to have your legend at the bottom, you're going to have your play button, and you're going to have this little map layers button. This little guy right here. So if you look right here in the corner, top left, that's where that is. You click on that, and you have National Radar, Satellite, Lightning, Storm Tracks, National Weather Service alerts, future radar, temperature sensors, hurricane stuff, all the high resolution next-red radars here in Oklahoma with their velocity, so good for tracking tornadoes, and the Storm Prediction Center outlook. So what he was asking for was the future radar. So if you click on future radar, we'll do that here, show the legend, opacity, and then you play this through time. Now, future radar, just so you know, is really geared towards severe weather season. You can use it during the winter time, but it was mainly developed for severe weather, and it's a short-term event. So for example, this takes you just to 11 o'clock tonight. So it's about a 1 hour future look to where the radar should be from where it is currently, given everything else that's going on in the atmosphere. So you might want to check that out during severe weather season and see how it does during the winter season, but I want to show you that as well. So there's plenty of tools and things you can check out on that website. By the way, Deborah, I see you. Thank you for the 50 stars. You're very sweet. Okay, so Twitter and Periscope. I almost forgot about you, just to make sure there was no questions. Okay, good. All right. And my patrons, again, as always, thanks again. And you YouTubers, I love your chats, by the way. Matt wants to know how accurate are the models. What are the odds the front pushes further east? Not very strong. The odds are not very good that the front will go any farther east than what I showed you tonight. There's not that much cold air with it. And then the track of the upper low would actually kind of help to hold it up because it comes into the west and then sits and then moves east. That slows everything down. If you would want the front to come barreling through, then that track would have to come more in the central Oklahoma versus west. And then once that gets going, that does keep the snow in central, but it doesn't really help it to snow really in eastern Oklahoma. It might be a little cooler, but still just rain. But remember, we're only talking about 100 to 200 miles is what we're trying to fine tune and narrow down for you. But there you go. Oh my gosh, Sarah Cooper, Chris Pemberton, both of you are getting time out. They're both late to the party. So they've missed everything, including the recap. Crazy people. What are y'all doing? Listen, I've been on the air since 9:35. That was 30 minutes ago. How are you just now getting on here? What were you doing for 30 minutes? But you said, hold that thought, I'll be right back. And then 30 minutes later, you said, okay, I'm ready to hear the forecast. You're hilarious. All right, so listen, I got to go. I've been on for too long. What you can do is you can do the replay. Replay you can watch either through Twitter. You can also do it on YouTube. And then you can do it on the Facebook page itself. And then you can drag your little cursor bar if you need to, if you need to cut right to the chase or whatever. So, but I got to get. But I do appreciate you guys watching tonight. And we'll do another update tomorrow. And we'll let you know how things look, if anything's changed. And then kind of, puppy had to go out and poop. That puppy needs to wrap it up. You tell him to get moving next time. 30 minutes, buddy. But I understand. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll talk again soon. Again, thanks for the stars, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll do this again tomorrow.